Welcome to Start With The Facts. Yo, welcome back to Start With The Facts. Back joined by me, the brothers, and our resident white guy. And we say that with all love.
I thought Brian was included with the brothers, man. We about 2 weeks in, man.
I thought we established that like 2 episodes ago.
Brother Brian.
Just piling
Brother
in.
Brian.
Hey, no, hold on. So in the comments, I heard somebody say Brother Brian. And they said, basically, it's let me know you're going to leave it alone.
Hold on. Wait. Did they put an ER at the end or was it an A? Because there's like, you know what I mean? There's levels.
I don't know.
He still might be brother, like ER. I don't think he done made it to the brother.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know how to take that comment. I thought it was a compliment. It wasn't.
No, it's a compliment.
It was a compliment, but DJ was emphasizing that there's a transition that goes from brother to brother.
I see. Well, I'm getting fam now from Will. I don't know if you guys have noticed that over the last couple weeks. That's a lot. That's progress.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, put it like this. Well, for those who don't know, the person we're talking about, because I caught some criticism with not introducing everybody, but to my left, we have Brother Alex Allen. We have to my right, Mr. Brian Inkrot, and down in sunny South Florida, we have none other than DJ. Here we go. Of course, well, you'll see all the you shit as long as DJ's here, but we're gonna jump into the show, and I'll let Brian kick it off. And the way it typically works is I'll introduce the show. We go from there. Then Brother Brian hosts and transitions topics. Hopefully, you have a lot of fun. You learn something, but you share a few laughs with us. And so, Brother Brian, kick us off.
Yeah. So today's an NFL Friday. We're going to focus on this game's weekends, focusing on the NFL. We covered a lot of college throughout the week, so the NFL it is. And there's one game to talk about that's behind us, which was last night's Seattle at Arizona.
Yep.
Seattle jumps out to a lead. Almost blows, and I don't know how else to say it other than with the word blows, so you can pause me. But Seattle almost blows a 14-point lead with 33 seconds left to go. They come down and kick a game-winning 52-yard field goal. So did you guys catch the game last night? You stay up late and watch it?
Yeah, I stayed up. 14 points is not a lot in the NFL. I mean, you can score that like that. So to say that they ruined that 14-point lead is just all about a team just clicking. That can be scored in, 2 minutes if it's done right. I don't think about the Arizona Cardinals. They haven't found their identity yet. Kyler Murray's been there for a number of years.
Yeah.
They got good athletes around them. Their identity was James Conner, the power back, going there, running hard, getting touchdowns. He set the tone, but with him being out, they have to reestablish their identity. Yesterday, they couldn't find it. We talked about Marvin Harrison Jr. and the struggles that he's been having so far this year. But he kind of bounced back when he had his touchdown, and you can see it when he scored. He takes that knee, and he's just like, man, finally. So I don't think they're a bad team. The Seahawks are solid, but they just need to reestablish their identity to kind of keep things going.
Yeah, I hear you. So, yeah, Marvin Harrison is off to a bit of a rocky start. Had a great catch in the end zone for a touchdown, and you kind of saw him drop down to a knee, and you could tell he was just relieved that he had made the catch and was obviously very happy about it. DJ, from your time in the NFL, did you ever play with guys that had I did it again. Have you been teammates with guys that had the yips?
It's Friday.
Right? That was between the ears. They were having problems, maybe mentally. And have you experienced that as a teammate?
So y'all said starting with the facts. I'm starting with the stories. Right. That's what this is. This Friday starting with the stories. Yes, I have. I played with teammates that have had the yips. I played with Tim Tebow, who basically had an NFL career of yips. And to be honest, at the end of the day, the number one thing is when you get in a drought and you get in a situation like that, you can't lose confidence within yourself. More importantly, your team can't lose confidence within you, right? And what we saw the other night was, did Kyler continue to go to Marvin Harris, right? The fact that he did that let Marvin know that, hey, the confidence is still within me. So what you see is later in the game, he ended up with 6 catches. He ended up with that big touchdown catch, and he did. He broke down and he cried, right? Because that's the type of passion and emotion that guys like really put into this. And so like when you hear fans talk shit and get down on guys about their performance, right? Like we saw last week Tua taking the stand and speaking about what it's like playing NFL quarterback. I always truly believe, right, that like nobody goes out there to stink it up. everybody needs to understand and remember that, you're going against guys that get paid too. But the craziest thing about last night's game to me was how and why they lost the game. That rule, that new kickoff rule, I didn't understand it. I didn't even know it, right? At the end of the day, the Cardinals had tied the game up. Seattle was going to end up having the ball with about 30-something seconds left. And because of a special team, I don't even want to call it an error, right? I guarantee a lot of fans may not have known that rule that you have to kick it within the landing zone because the ball was 1 yard outside the landing zone.
Is that
Seattle,
what it was?
Yep.
Yeah, Seattle ended up with, so the ball needs to be within the 20, which is the landing zone, right? The ball didn't hit the landing zone. It hit the 21-yard line. Seattle got the ball at the 40. Through 2 or 3 plays, kicked a 50-something yard field goal and won the game. And again, like, I don't like a lot of these rule changes. That's definitely one I don't like. I used to love kickoff, right? That's where a lot of the big collisions happen. I understand player safety, why they removed it. But now this is a situation where it's not even player safety. That little carve-out rule, that caveat, is now having professional men that give blood, sweat, and tears lose games for fucking something as simple as the ball didn't land within the 20-yard line.
Yeah, when everybody outside of the kicker doesn't have outside of the kicker, he's the only one who influences that play. But you get the ball on the 40, it's not really hard to get in field goal range. Especially when you have a defense playing prevent coverage that's trying to stop you from, scoring a touchdown. You could throw a bunch of shit underneath and so on and so forth.
You're playing in a dome as well, right? So you don't. I mean, it's still early in the season, but you don't have the elements in the wind that can bother you. So once that landed at the 40, Seattle knew they just needed about 25 yards to be able to get in field goal range.
Yeah, my comments were different, and I don't know why, but every time I look at Arizona, I always think of like I'm never. I don't want to say fan. I just don't have the word, but I never really believe in Kyler Murray. And I knew what he did in college. He's a super dynamic player in college. But for me, even when they drafted him, I was like, man, like, does this guy fit? And I'm not talking about just a running quarterback, but just his size. I'll get it like this. I'm 5'11", 6 foot. And when I stand next to football players, I'm small as shit. You know what I'm saying? You go next to linemen, you're small. You go next to linebackers. This linebackers is 6'2", 6'3", big motherfuckers, right? And how tall is Kyler Murray? Do you know? Do either of y'all know?
5'10".
He's a tall 5'8" at the combine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and my comments are more of that. And it's not to say anything about Marvin Harrison Jr. The ball comes your way, you have to catch it. And I don't want to belabor that point. That's just sometimes you're in a fucking funk, and it's tough being in a funk, but it's tough being in a funk when everybody's talking about you in a funk, because you start to get down on yourself, then you start to get down on what everybody else is thinking of you when you actually should just be focused on the game. So that's a whole different story. But every time I look at the Arizona Cardinals, I just ask myself, I was like, man, did he do that much in college to draft him that high? And I know he won a bunch in high school with high school football and won a ton in college. But it's just every time I look at them, I never look at them as if they'll be a legitimate contender, and it's solely because of him. And so that's neither here nor there, but that's just my comments towards looking at him. I think you had Drew Brees, who was a smaller quarterback, and you can go.
Yeah, Drew Brees is keeping short NFL quarterbacks in business because everybody says, well, Drew Brees did it.
Yeah, but you can't,
but he's
look,
one example of a success.
Fellas, listen, there's a small carve out with Kyler Murray, right? And you look at the Drew Breeses of the world, you look at the Doug Flutys of the world, right? When you look at Kyler Murray and his career in Texas, successful, state champs, right? In college, won the Heisman. So he doesn't have that chip on his shoulder like a lot of these, little engine that could undersized guys, because he's always won. Right. So what kept Drew Brees going, what kept the Doug Flutys of the world going, what kept, a lot of these guys that didn't have a lot of success early on in that career was like, hey, this coach gave a chance for me. The rest of the world doubts me. I'm going to prove this individual right. I'm going to prove my teammates right for loving me and supporting me. Instead, even though undersized, Kyler Murray was, steak dinners and lobster his whole career. Right, from all of the winning, winning the Heisman and things like that. So I think the biggest issue with him is now he's in the NFL, pockets is fat. Like, where is that hunger, right? And it's hard to create that hunger and bring it to life, because he probably had that hunger, maybe starting high school, but once he started to get on this winning streak, I feel like that hunger left.
Well, I was just talking about just basic height. I don't care how hungry
Yeah.
you are.
But no, what I'm saying is like there are guys in the NFL that are very successful. The Maurice Jones-Drew of the world, right? You got the Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Running back.
That's what I'm talking at running back.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys never got close to the level of success that Kyler got. For example, Maurice Jones-Drew, he came out early. The reason he came out in the second round, and I personally know Mo, the other Mo, I personally know Mo because we went to high school together. The reason he came out his junior year, because basically the NFL said, no matter what you do next year, you're not going to be a first rounder, right? Because of your height, there's nothing that can happen that's going to make you a first rounder. Now, we look back at Kyler Murray. Did that happen to him? No. To be honest, again, he's under 5'10". So for somebody in the NFL to win the Heisman, go first round, and be the type of pick that he was, he never really had the stipulations that most undersized guys have, or guys that have a lack of ability have. He's always kind of broken through that glass ceiling, even though, you know, just the optics of his stature probably should have kept him in a certain place. And I feel because he's never had to kind of continue to fight and punch through and always prove himself, I feel like he doesn't have that hunger in him. And that's what I see in the NFL, because if you look back at what he did in college, you look back at what he did in high school, he was a dominant player, and that's just not translating into the NFL.
So Sunday's games, it's a great point, DJ. So Sunday's games in the NFL will kick off in Dublin, Ireland, as the Steelers and Minnesota Vikings face off. And we have a resident diehard Steelers fan. So it's only natural, Alex, that you kick us off summarizing what you think about this.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Both of us are 2-1. Like I told you guys before, I'm a football fan first, but I love my Steelers. 2-1. We're both coming off of wins. Both defense played lights out with 5 turnovers apiece. Now, this is not the Sam Darnold situation with Carson Wentz when it comes to the quarterback play. I don't think Carson Wentz, the quarterback for the Vikings, does what he did versus the Bengals versus us. That being said, Mason, the running back for the Vikings, might have a chance to still continue that streak of running the ball well. I'm trying not to ball situation in the interior of the Steelers defense. All right.
You say, hey, listen, I'm unpausable.
Yeah.
I'm unpausable. Here, I'll give you the cloak. I'll give you the cloak of protection.
I like this going into the weekend. I appreciate you, man. So with DJ's cloak, I don't think that they can run up the middle or they may still have success running up the middle because he's a solid running back. Now, where I think the Vikings struggle is throwing the ball with Wentz. And they still have to stop our offense with who just passed Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers, thank you. What people like to say is the Vikings are going to blitz a lot. But I think Aaron Rodgers plays his best football when you blitz him because he can get rid of the ball quick. So I am anticipating them blitzing him because he was only blitzed, I think, 17% of the time last week. This week, they'll blitz a little bit more, and he'll be able to throw them balls quick. I'm still unpausable.
Listen, no. Listen, hold on. If I give you the cloak, use it. You said run up the middle. That was a perfect chance to say run up in them. So use it. Trust me, man.
All right, but to throw them quick balls. So DK, I'm looking for him to have a big game.
He giveth and he taketh. He got it back.
I'm expecting DK Metcalf to have a big game, and as well as Calvin Austin to kind of bounce back. So that's I know you probably may think different, but I'm ready for it.
No, I honestly don't give a shit about that game.
Oh, okay.
Hey, welcome to starting with the facts, where we don't give a shit about the games.
In the group chat, and I said, "Let's go Vikings." I think Alex was expecting some big fight from me, and I'm like, I'm gonna bet the Vikings at -2.5.
So talk to me about that real quick, if you don't mind. I heard you talking about it yesterday, and like you said, he's teaching you as well as teaching me. So there's a money line. How does it go?
Yeah, so the Vikings are favored by 2.5. So if the Vikings win by 3, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win the bet.
Okay.
If the Vikings win by 2 or 1, right, then I'm gonna lose the bet.
Yes.
Or you can bet either team straight up, which is just money line. And because the Vikings are favored, if you put $10 in, you might only get like 16 back.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas if you bet the Steelers, you put 10 in, you might get like 22 back. I don't know what the money line numbers are right now, But you should get, it's real close to even money if you bet the Vikings at -2.5 or the Steelers conversely at +2.5.
So Steelers at +2.5, we win by 3, we win?
All you got to do is win or lose by less than 2.5.
Oh, yeah,
so you can bet this.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means.
I don't think so either.
I think we'll pull it out.
Does the traveling to Dublin, Ireland impact this game in any way?
It's a DJ question.
Oh, big time. And we were speaking about it earlier where, the Vikings have been there for 2 weeks, right? At the end of the day, you're going to have a time change, right? Another thing is guys are excited. Guys are excited to go abroad. You have probably some young guys on the team that have never experienced and left out of their state besides playing a collegiate game. And so you have two type of teams, right? You have the teams that go out there 1-2 weeks early, like the Vikings did, to go ahead, get prepared, get acclimated. And then also your coaches is going to throw you a few bones, right? Coach is going to, allow you guys to kind of experience and indulge in whatever that country has to offer. And then you have coaches like how I had, right? Josh McDaniels, where we played in London, we played the San Francisco 49ers. And as I lay out this schedule, I guarantee none of you guys in studio is going to believe this, and anybody else that's watching this is going to believe this. So here was our schedule. We stayed in Denver and practiced. So the 49ers are all the way there, right? I got boys on the team. They're hanging out. We're looking at them on social media. They're shopping, right? They're hanging out with Big Ben on the clock, the little Ferris wheel. They're doing all that shit, right? Hanging out in Covent Gardens, right? Right? They're doing all that shit. While we are back in Denver, practicing schedule as usual. We did our normal Wednesday. We did our normal Thursday practice. We did our fucking normal Friday practice, but we moved it up. Immediately after Friday's practice, we go to the airport. We get on a plane. We fly from Denver. I don't think we went straight. So I think we went Denver, New York, London. We land.
How long of a flight was that?
I think it was a total of 8 or 9 hours, right? Total of 8 or 9 hours. So listen to this. We practice our regular week. We fly out after practice on Friday. Even the situation is like, bring your shit, be ready to go. You guys got an hour and a half after practice. We're catching a plane. We fly out Friday. We land Saturday morning. We go straight to breakfast. We go straight to meetings. We do a fucking walkthrough. Then he gives us 6 hours off. And then we have our evening meeting. And then it's Sunday and it's time to play the game. When I found out we were playing in London, I got some people out there. I got a little homegirl that got a little, you know what I'm saying? She got a modeling agency. Oh, and it was Halloween. I set up a party. So we get there Saturday morning, go straight into walkthrough after breakfast. Several guys are sick. You have guys that have jet lag. And this is a true fucking story right here. Sunday game, during defensive warmups, I'm not going to say his name. I'm gonna spare him on this. I'm not going to say his name, but we are warming up and we are doing individual drills, game day, preparing for the game. About 10 or 12 guys on our team got sick. I don't know if you've ever been to Europe. They got some runny ass eggs. Don't eat the motherfucking eggs. Don't eat the eggs. In the middle of defensive warmups, one of my D linemen come to me and say, "Fuck, Dirt." I say, "What's happened?" He say, "Hell nah." I say, "What?" He turned around. Shit stained on the back of his drawers, on the back of his game pants. The worst part is, I don't know if you've ever been to Wembley. I say, dog, the locker room is way the fuck down there. Right? One of my defensive linemen shitted on himself. Yeah. Because the lack of sleep, the jet lag, a bunch of guys were sick. We go out there, and that's actually the game that got Josh McDaniels fired, the filming in the stands. We'll dive in that another time. Long story short, we end up losing to the 49ers. Half of our team is sick. A lot of guys are disgruntled. And to be honest, majority of our players on our team are just jet lag. At that point in time, we were definitely supposed to beat the Niners.
Wait. Did you say you set up a Halloween party?
I sure did.
I think you tried to blame the eggs, but I also heard you planned a Halloween party.
Oh, shit. Listen. Fuck. All right. So after we got our ass beat, right, a lot of people, a lot of fans that sit there and listen, they think guys hate each other. No. We party with the Niners, right? My homegirl set it up at one of the most populous clubs in London, in New York. You got about 15 to 20 Denver Bronco players, 15 to 20 San Francisco 49er players. You got about 40 to 50 models, Eastern European, Spain, we bringing it in. So you already know what that looks like, right? The issue with that is we had the whole VIP section. And usually, I would say the little London D-boys, the street guys that's usually popping bottles, well, they were on the outskirts of the section. They couldn't get in the section. And you know, naturally, some of those guys had a lot of hate and energy within them. And on the way to the bathroom, one of them threw a bottle and hit Jarvis Moss, one of our defensive ends, in the head. My best friend was there. They throw a bottle back. Shit pops off. Next thing I know, I'm in the club partying. I don't even know this is really happening on the side. Right? I'm in the club partying. And I get a message from my best friend, yo, I'm outside. Motherfucker just hit me with a bottle. Come check me out. So I go up there and I look at him and I'm like, damn, what happened? And he was like, the cats in the inside hit me and hit Jarvis in the face with a bottle. And so now I'm like, look, I go to security. Big, Ukrainian type motherfuckers. Talking about some big, you know what I'm saying? Some big, just world biggest, strongest man contest. Bird. Them type of last name motherfuckers. About 5 of them, right? So I say, look, you got to let me go back in the club. And they're like, no, go back. I said, listen here. I said, I'm about to tell you what's about to happen right now. I said, within the next 5 minutes, 30 motherfuckers that's your size or bigger, stronger and athletic are all going to get texts about what's going to happen. And it's going to be a fucking mess. Because they're going to find out that one of us got hit in the bottle, head with a bottle with one of your guys. So they let me go back in. I get everybody outside the club, but they still find out what happens. Next thing you know, it's about to be a 30-on-30 brawl. Fucking hoodlums from fucking London, you know, the motherfuckers that be ruining the fucking soccer matches and shit like that. 30 NFL guys. One dude on my team say, nah, listen, it's an away game, not meaning we're in London, but like these niggas might got them things on them and shit like that. Let's chill. Another dude on my team say, this is Europe. Them motherfuckers can't have pistols on site. 30-on-30 brawl, motherfuckers fighting, is going crazy. Long story short is, it was like when Nino took over the Carter, because the fight happens, we get back to the hotel, everybody is rebelling against Josh McDaniels. It's like, fuck it. The way he treated us, fuck it. It's a handful of my teammates got a hold of some of that good. And Brian, there's multiple versions of good. They got a hold of some of that good, the little nose candy. It's hectic. It's going crazy. So now I'm like, it was all on me. I threw the fucking party. So I'm like, damn, how do I fucking reel this back in? So here's what literally happened. I forgot his name, but Josh McDaniels had his right-hand man, and he was basically like, you know, when shit goes left. So I call him because we're supposed to be on a plane within the next 2 hours. We're supposed to meet downstairs, get on the bus, and be on a plane within the next 2 hours. I call him and I say, hey, look, we not making the bus. We not making the motherfucking bus, but we gonna get to the airport. My best friend ends up going to a hospital. He still hates me to this day because when they stitched him up, they stitched his eye in the middle, and the motherfucker tell me when it rained, this part of my eye still get water in it. But listen, it was a crazy event. It was fucking, and all because we didn't go out there early and we didn't get to fucking experience London like we should have. That's really
all that to be said.
All that to be said.
I'm glad I asked. What a story, but boy, shit, we're out of time. We have time to cover any more games. Is that the show? I love you, DJ. That was really good. I appreciate it.
Hey, Will, don't do that clock shit no more.
Good. And you got in a good.
We got in some that good.
So, all right, next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Philly's favored by 3.5. For those out there that want to put money on the game. Eagles 3-0, Buccaneers 3-0 could be a preview of the NFC Championship game. I think of all the games this weekend, this is one of the top 2 for me that I'm interested in. Mo, what do you think?
I'm going with the Eagles. I'm not a believer. I believe that Baker Mayfield is a utility guy he's etched these wins out. But I think you're playing the defending Super Bowl champs, somebody who's a lot more prepared, somebody who's playing well. I think that they'll do what they've been doing and go down to Tampa and become 4-0. I know Mike Evans is out. So, one of your targeted receivers who you probably have a lot of offense and productivity built through. he's out. Both defenses are playing well, but there's no way that I don't think that the Philadelphia. I don't know the line. If you said it,
3.5 Eagles.
Yeah, I think they cover, and I think that they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If I remember correctly, I don't even think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been winning by a large margins over these last few weeks or so. Even at home, I'm going with Eagles.
Alex, you got anything? Not a big one.
Nah,
So I have a
like
question.
Scrappy Mayfield though.
I have a question for you guys. So you guys all played football at a high level, and you always see stats like this that I'm about to tell you that influence either the line bettors or people who discuss sports. Jalen Hurts is 1-4 when playing in Tampa Bay. Does that in any way impact how you feel about this game, or is each game, each season, it kind of stands on its own 2 feet?
For me, I go ahead.
I think when you give me that stat, I think that plays a mental game for Jalen Hurts. On the outside, he appears calm, cool, collected, but who knows what's really going on inside. Now, he's performed like it doesn't matter. But at the same time, like I said, I like Scrappy Mayfield is what I call him, Baker Mayfield. It's because of the way that he plays. And he doesn't want to lose that, 3-0 record. So I think it will. And I think he'll have a chip on his shoulder to kind of come out and play harder than Jalen Hurts, who has won Super Bowl, has been more successful than him,
Sure.
both coming from Oklahoma. Yeah, I think I like them. I like Tampa Bay.
Okay, nice.
I'm going with you, Alex. I like Tampa. Yeah. Listen,
I'll bet both of y'all.
bet good.
I will gladly bet.
Bet good. Oh,
For
wait,
the-
are we playing a
straight up.
line? Do I get points?
Listen, we talking about straight up. We just talking about a straight.
Do I get points?
Oh, we talking about a straight up bet.
Okay, so listen, I'll go straight up, and here's why, right? Because of the little fact nugget that Brian gave us, I understand why that is. A lot of people may think that it has to do with the weather and the temperature, right? It being hot, Tampa Bay. I don't think so. I think it has to do with Tampa Bay and their style of defense. Tampa Bay has always been known to be fast and athletic. And what does Jalen Hurts do the best, right? He uses his feet. He uses his mobility, right? So you got guys like, listen, I don't know how this motherfucker doing it, but Levante Davis, I think he's in year 13 or 14. They're going to set it up. He's going to spy Jalen Hurts. So the reason that Jalen Hurts isn't as successful against Tampa Bay is because that defense is big, strong, and fast, and they always probably got a spy on him, running around and chasing him around. And then we talk about Kyler Murray earlier. Baker Mayfield, even though he's won the Heisman, has been up, in the championship race, he continues to have a chip on his shoulder. That's what's missing in Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray needs a little bit of that Baker inside, no pause, of him, right? In order to go ahead and produce. You like that, Alex? I made Alex giggle. I made Alex giggle.
All right, up next, we have Cleveland Browns traveling to the Detroit Lions. Lions are favored by 9.5. Probably not enough. Could be 18, and I'd still pick the Lions to cover. What do you guys think?
Man, Cleveland's my team, but they don't get the shit kicked out of them.
They're my team too, man. And I think last week, other than the NFL draft, which we look forward to every year as Browns fans, because that's normally our Super Bowl. The highlight of the year is who we're going to get in the first round, always early in the first round. But they beat the Packers last week.
What?
And that's like
They're not
equivalent of the Super Bowl.
They're not Detroit.
And they're not Detroit.
Detroit is. This is. I'll say this year. Detroit is steamrolling to get out of that. Hey, will these guys be in the conference championship and we're going to the Super Bowl conversation? And I think I just think that this is their year. You see how Lamar Jackson and guys are playing. I don't know. I think this year is Detroit's year. It's my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against that. But between Detroit and then the game that we just talked about, Philadelphia and Tampa Bay, you got to imagine it's going to be one of those 3 teams coming out of the NFC.
1,000%.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Eagles versus Detroit, or Eagles or Detroit.
Eagles or Detroit going through to the Super Bowl.
1,000%.
Yeah, you can't argue that. I can't argue against that. 3-0 Chargers going to the 0-3 New York Football Giants. I always think why a game is interesting. Give me just one thing why I would stop what I'm doing on a Sunday to watch a game if you're not a big fan of the NFL. This one, I think Jackson Dart. I mean, guys getting his first start as a rookie. Obviously, they've pulled now Russell Wilson. They've benched him.
You think that's interesting?
I think Jackson Dart getting his first start's very interesting.
That's not interesting to me. I would rather watch Detroit kick the shit out of my favorite team.
So this is a game you wouldn't watch if it was the only thing on TV.
No,
I got something, and this is for Brian. Mo, yeah. Listen, this is going to be the only all-white NFL backfield.
Man, how'd you find that stat?
It's scattable. I mean, listen,
who's the white?
How many other
running back for? So not he got hurt last week.
Oh, you're saying quarterback running back duo?
Yes,
for the Giants.
Who's for the Chargers?
See, so no. I don't care about the Chargers. Here's why I'm excited. I'm excited because I don't know if you've seen Jackson Dart and his swag and how he do it and how he got the Cubans around his neck, but him and Scatterboo's relationship is crazy.
Yeah,
like it's crazy. And if you have that relationship and they go out and they go on a little run and they beat and they're successful in New York, you know they're going to amplify it. But again, so like, listen, hold on.
Drinking the Kool-Aid, man.
No. Hey, somebody got to sip it. So listen. This is how this is Scatterboo's and Dart's relationship. So when they come out of the facility for practice, Scatterboo has his helmet on. Then he has Jackson Dart's helmet on top of his helmet sitting there, and he balances it. While Jackson Dart goes by, pretty face, probably want to taking pictures with everybody, signing autographs. And then when he's done, Scatterboo stands there. Jackson Dart grabs his helmet. They hit a little thing, and then they walk out there. Those are the type of
the Giants, man.
It don't matter.
Yes, it does.
No, we said, why would you watch the game? I'm watching the game because, again, there's going to be a all-white backfield that could go out there and dominate in the NFL. Somebody find that fact. You look it up and tell me when that happened.
I mean,
it got to be like Brady and like what the little running back that they had back then.
Danny
Woodhead. Danny Woodhead.
Yeah. You're forgetting about Brock Purdy and C-Mac.
Yeah, DJ. Christian McCaffrey.
Wait, who?
Christian
McCaffrey.
Nah, but C-Mac got a lineage of NFL blood within his thing, and I think his mom. Yeah, I think his mom was like an Olympian. Like, bro, come on.
I thought you was making a case like the Giants were a good team. I was like,
no. I'm making a case on what I want to watch.
Why he'd watch it? Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Well,
yeah. Giants get their back blowed out.
Oh shit. All right, let's keep moving. The winless New Orleans Saints are going to travel to the 3-0 Buffalo Bills. Line on that game is Buffalo minus 15.5. You could make it 30.
I still
probably
think
still roll with Buffalo.
I still think Buffalo covers.
Why I would watch this game? I don't know. I just think this is an ass kicking, and I don't know. It's a scheduled NFL game, so you're going to see people in New Orleans, people in Buffalo, and I'll bet you is cast out outside of that.
Yeah, but I think you typically have to have two stars on both sides for you to actually care. I think just New Orleans is like I don't even know where New Orleans is at in their
rebuild.
I don't even know what the fuck you call it.
But who's their head coach?
Who is it?
No. That's what I'm saying. It's like we don't have a star on defense. We don't have a star on offense.
Kellen Moore.
Like, who's that?
Kellen Moore. Wow.
Kellen Moore. Where did he come from? Chicago?
And he was with the Cowboys for a while as their OC. He's the guy, quarterback that went to Boise State.
Yeah, the Cowboys have been sucking for a long time.
And this is people say no offense. This is offenseful. Like nobody knows who the fuck is down there.
One reason to watch it. This is it. You're going to watch Josh Allen continue to build some separation in the MVP voting between himself and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it'd be good for them.
That's it.
You can watch highlights for that.
Yeah, I'm saying people watching us are saying, I'd like to watch a game, and I'm available at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, and I'm just thinking of what I'd like to watch. That's one reason. Watch Josh Allen pad his stats.
Unless you live in Buffalo or unless you're a diehard.
That's it.
Yeah,
you said 15.5 is the
15.5 is this
minus 15.5. So mean they gotta
win by
they're starting off at 15 in the hole.
Buffalo has to win by 16 to cover it.
Now I understand. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, that half point that gets you, Alex, watch out for it. That's
these guys
that's the flim flam.
But how does a half point? You can't score.
It's just skewed to.
So there's never a push, never a tie.
Boom.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
All right. The Washington Commanders, 2-1 Washington Commanders, are traveling to Atlanta to play the 1-2 Falcons. We were talking earlier.
Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota,
Mhm.
Jaden Daniels. I don't think they've officially announced that Jaden Daniels isn't going to play, but didn't practice. Or I don't think has practiced yet this week, so not looking good. Any thoughts on that game?
I thought Mariota actually showed up and played last week. At 31 years old, he's still able to run the ball and run the offense. It's interesting down in Atlanta, though, because I do remember Penix getting pulled for Kirk Cousins. I'm interested to see who's going to get that start down in Atlanta. So.
Wait, Penix did he get pulled?
No,
No, Kirk
Kirk
Cousins
Cousins
was
got
playing.
pulled. Yeah.
And then Penix
Went in, but
Yeah.
Penix is still in. He hasn't come out, correct?
I don't know. I'll say like this.
No, last week.
No, so I don't know about last week, but I know they signed Kirk Cousins to like a 6-year deal for like 140 something million.
Yeah.
And then they drafted Michael Penix, was it 2 years ago in the
Yeah.
first round? Yeah, so I don't even know how that whole situation. I don't.
Last week he
So-
got pulled. Penix got
Yeah.
pulled.
So
last week.
Penix is scheduled to start
Okay.
coming this Sunday. And again, the big conversation.
While they're paying him all that
So
money.
and the big conversation is all of that money that has been dished out for Kirk Cousins. How does he get out there? How does he play? But again, at the end of the day, it's hard when the locker room chooses a guy and for financial reasons you decide to play him anyway, even though like the team isn't happy about it and they don't feel like they have the best chance of winning. Now that's the quickest way to ever lose a locker.
I don't know, but I don't know how. I didn't even realize Michael Penix was in playing. I was thinking that at least he goes through 3 years, and the front part of your contract is loaded. That's what I was thinking. The fact that
I think that was the plan.
Yeah,
but
that's a lot of money, bro.
it's a lot. It's a ton of money.
Yeah, I hear you. I heard what you're saying, DJ. You could lose a locker room, but what is his name? Arthur Blank, or whatever the hell his name is.
Yes.
That's tough, man. You paying a Joker $140 million to sit on the bench.
It's half of what the Browns are paying Deshaun Watson.
I don't give a fuck if it's 142.
Where he at? He's sitting in a massage parlor.
Oh, Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland Plain Dealer, the longtime Browns reporter, she put a post up this morning about Deshaun Watson. Back in August, had gone through a formal workout with Jimmy Haslam and Stefanski, and he may see the field in October, as early as October.
Wait, he's still in the NFL.
Yes, he's still in the NFL.
But you have to. Okay,
that's crazy. Like
you pay somebody $50 million. You're not going to think about how to at least get something out of him.
Bro, listen. You listen.
Joe fucking Flacco, bro.
Listen, he's a Munson, bro. He's set up for a disaster.
I don't know what the fuck a Munson
right? Sometimes
is.
What does that mean?
Huh?
What is
you saw the movie Kingpin, Ray Munson?
Oh, yeah. Well, yes.
Munson is bad news. That's all you need to know. And again, how many chances has he gotten? I get that you're in him, $200 million, but I honestly just feel that he's going to come back and do something even worse. Sometimes you got to cut your ties and cut your losses.
I ain't got 250 to cut. Fuck, that's a lot of bread, man.
It's a lot of money. Let's talk about what is going to be, I think, a great game, one of the top games this weekend. Baltimore Ravens going to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that's probably not this.
That's a game.
This the shit I be want. I want to watch all these other. And this is, listen to me. This is no offense to all these other guys, but man,
everyone in New Orleans who you've offended.
But you know what? Fuck it, man. Be offended. Yes, you should be. Look, people want to see people that they know, man.
Yeah.
And this is high stakes poker. This is both teams who probably didn't expect themselves to be coming into this week with their records. What were they? Both 1-2, correct?
Both 1-2.
Yes.
And they're both in must-win situations.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Both in one. So you're going to get a better game out of that. Is that the Sunday night game?
30.
Oh, that's
30
that's probably going to be the prime time 4:30 game.
Yeah, but everybody's going to watch that. Everybody wants to see is the Kansas City Chiefs on a rebuild year or whatever you want to call it, and it is can Lamar Jackson the guys turn it around. So I'll be tuned into that game, but there's no way in hell that I'm not taking the Ravens on the road.
I 100% agree. I think it's Ravens. The spread is 2.5. I think they cover. I think they win by a touchdown or more.
FC North football, baby. I'm still like what we talked about last time. I'm still not sold on KC being back all the way. I think they said that Worthy may have a chance to play.
I didn't see that.
So, yeah, he was moving around. So if he plays, that may change things a little bit. He'll have another weapon. But again, they're kind of just shaking with their identity as well, I think. So I definitely take the Ravens.
DJ, you got a pick on this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually bump heads with Mo, and this is probably one of the first times this has happened. I don't think that it's a must-win game, right? Both teams, right? I don't think it's here's why. I don't. No, it's gonna be quick. I don't think it's a must-win game. Both teams are 1-2. Last year, 6 teams made it into the playoffs with only 10 wins. Here's my bold take. This is gonna be my bold take of the show. I'm gonna go farther than that. I just don't see Lamar Jackson, right, not winning 10 games throughout the season.
He's going to win 10 games.
Exactly. I do not see Patrick Mahomes not winning 10 games in an NFL season. So because of that, almost 50% of the teams that made the playoffs last year had a 10-7 record. So because of that, I don't think that it's time to start that conversation to say this is a must-win situation, right? Maybe 2 or 3 games down the line. But again, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have a brutal schedule lined up. They got the Colts, they got the Bills, they got Denver, they got the Raiders, and then again, they got the Baltimore Ravens. But again, maybe it's because of, what Alex may see. What have you done for me lately? They haven't done it lately, but in the past, I just don't see both of those quarterbacks not winning 10 games. So for me, it's not a must-win yet.
So let me give context for when I say must-win. So I'm strictly talking about they dropped was that the first game of the season when they lost in Buffalo?
Yeah.
The way that they lost. Did you watch the game? The way that they lost, when they was kicking their ass, and then
both and then the loss to the Lions.
Yes.
They've lost to 2 really good teams.
And I just believe that those, like, when I look at them, I think that they thought that they were just going to rebuild on what they were doing last year. And, you're in this position where you're like, man, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And to get the season back on track early rather than late, man, what better way to go in here, kick the shit out of Kansas City, give us our confidence and let us know who we are, because we should have won both of those games against very good teams. That's what I was talking about with both wins. Adversely, when you have the Kansas City Chiefs, they have a different dynamic to me. And I keep on talking about the social dynamic of, like, it doesn't feel wrapped up as tight as it used to be. I'm talking about just like Kansas City football. Like, it's just like we're talking about, like, just different shit. Like,
it's getting very cowboyish, right? Like the conversation is more about what's happening with the players off the field than what's actually happening with the game.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So for both teams to sort of get back in their proverbial groove, I'm pretty sure that Andy Reid is saying, hey, man, we need to beat the shit out of this team who's a really good team, and he's trying to get his guys going, and let's put all this Travis Kelce shit to bed and all this, like, injury shit to bed, because, like, think about this. Like, you played before. We all played before.
Well,
when the media starts talking about the reason that you're losing is because of injuries, and people start to buy into it. Like, because you could have
everybody's injured.
Then you could say, if we lose, we got something to lean on. But it's a different mentality when you're, like, forging through that shit. And so that's what I think they're fighting, and not to buy into that. But then I also think that Lamar and the boys, who have a great defense, I think that those guys are also trying to prove to themselves we should have beat these very good teams who will probably go deep into the playoffs. So I probably should have flushed it out, but fucking 3 hours of sleep, that'll have you fucked up.
Welcome to my world.
My fault, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Last game we're going to talk about, Green Bay Packers traveling to Jerry's World to take on the Dallas Cowboys. So old Micah Parsons comes riding in, right? You got Jerry Jones up in the suite. Over under, how many times are the cameras going to pan in to Jerry Jones after Micah Parsons makes a play? I mean, I'll bet you it's 1,000. I bet you it's 1,000. And that's going to be the longest 2-3 hours, I think, of Jerry Jones' life, watching Micah Parsons come in. And I think they're going to have a day. The Packers are favored to win by 6.5. I think they're going to take care of business down in Dallas, but I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts.
I don't give a about the game. I don't swear too much. I don't really care for the Cowboys. I mean,
true story.
Welcome to starting with the facts, but we don't give a fuck about most of the games.
I don't care. I care more about the other games.
It's the NFL scheduling. This is why this has become a thing.
Yeah, I think the story is good, but I'm not going to waste time trying to find a game where, miss a workout or something for it. All right, let me give an honest take. I think, well, that wasn't an honest take. That wasn't an honest take. I would like to see Michael Parsons make Jerry Jones frown. That's what I was saying. But other than that, I don't care.
It's Sunday Night Football. This game has no competition. There's nothing else on. You're going to watch.
Yeah, but you see,
I'm going to be at work. Probably get ready for work or sleeping, honestly.
But you see it when you got stars, you can build storylines.
Yes.
That's what makes sports to me. It's very uninteresting. My fault. It's very uninteresting to me and to the fan, to the average person who just like, damn. And I feel so bad because all these guys are professionals. They put a lot of work in and to their respective families and the high school communities that they come from. These are very popular guys.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're talking about giving hours of your time, you want to watch big storylines. So me, personally, I don't like Michael Parsons or dislike him. I don't have an opinion on him, but I do want to see him go back to Jerry's world and get off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and, do it. And then, I like to see Dak struggle just because I like to talk shit to the Cowboys.
And I want to see George Pickens crash out.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. He close.
That's your buddy.
Listen, it's two things for me, right? But what Alex just said, Pickens, no CeeDee Lamb, there's going to be a possible crash out, right?
He's out this week?
You speak, no, CeeDee Lamb is out.
Yeah.
Right, but you speak
what
about.
What happened to us? I just, out of my curiosity.
It was a high ankle sprain, right? So that high ankle sprain, I'm going to be honest with you, is anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks, depending on, what grade it is. But no, one thing that I am nervous about the Pickens crash out. There's multiple things that's going to come into play, right? Is Parsons getting after Dak Prescott, which is not allowing them to throw the ball down the field? Again, the Packers have an amazing team, a lot of weapons on offense. Are they going to get their ass kicked? But we speak about why you would want to watch this game. You want to watch this game exactly for the reason that Jerry Jones has been setting up for 70 years on why you want to watch the Cowboys. At the end of the day, it's polarizing. He's always going to be the story. If you haven't seen the documentary America's Team and you see how much blood, sweat, and tears Jerry Jones put in this, when the camera goes to his face and he frowns, at the end of the day, he's a polarizing figure. There's a large group of individuals that are going to love Jerry Jones forever. There's a large group of individuals that are going to hate Jerry Jones forever. So no matter what happens, when Jerry gets, we're going to call it Jerry time, all he does is continue to build the Cowboys brand. They haven't won shit in 30 years. They haven't won shit had any relevance in 30 years. But again, everybody, when it comes to the football season, we are still giving them attention. And if there was a way to monitor the amount of clicks or times watched per team and per owner, I guarantee Jerry and the Cowboys are 2-1, probably to the closest team.
Well, I'll say this before we close. One thing I do know, and I'll connect boxing and I'll connect football with you. So y'all remember the Lamont Roach and Tank Davis fight?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason that Lamont Roach had a bunch of success against Tank Davis because he had practiced and sparred with him and had played with him already. And this is why I think that Mike, that was crazy. You could tell I'm asleep because I don't even understand what the fuck I'm saying. So when I think about Michael Parsons, he's practiced against these dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So you've practiced with them, you've seen who they are, you know who they are. And DJ, you know what I'm talking about. If you've practiced versus a motherfucker 1,000 times, you become comfortable about what you can and can't do, and you understand what your quarterback is doing. You were just here months ago. You understand calls, you understand preparation, you understand all that.
Yeah.
And then when you have a high motor guy who wants to come back and say, fuck you, that's that variable that you talked about with Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
That thing that he doesn't have, like that chip on his shoulder. So I think that's enough if you're a gambling man. Now, I don't know what Jordan Love is going to do, but that's enough to Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs. It might get nasty for the Cowboys. When you actually think about it, yeah, it can actually get nasty.
Because I think the players in Dallas, I don't know that there's a ton of animosity. It's not like they're putting in, if 100% is as hard as you can go, they're not going to, this isn't like 110%. It's not personal to them. It's personal to Michael Parsons.
Let me tell you this. And I will end on this. Man, have you ever seen an interview with Josh Jacobs, DJ? Listen,
I saw something.
He's the most serious motherfucker I've ever seen play football in like the past
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
All about business. And so like you get this mentality of people who all about business plus this vengeful nature.
Coming off a loss in Cleveland.
Coming off a loss to a team you shouldn't have lost to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And internally they believe they should be playing in the Super Bowl too.
No doubt about it. So with that being said, we'll be back Monday, and we'll be back with our more consistent shows. This week I messed us up with traveling my Zoom calls, and we had some technicality stuff from Will. But thank you all. Yes, I had to throw Will up under the bus. If I'm going up under that bus, Will going under the bus too. Pause.
The shit bigger than Nino Brown.
We'll catch y'all later. We'll start with the facts.